What is up, everyone? It's Skunk72 out here in very humid, awkward Southern California weather. Finally cooled down, but now it's humid, so it doesn't feel like it cooled down at all. So apparently tomorrow, I guess we're gonna get a little bit of rain going on. It's supposed to be like 70 degrees, which without the rain, 70 degrees is like my perfect weather. It's exactly what I want it to be all the time. So, got a couple things on my agenda today. First and foremost, I'm going to get some beer. Gotta have beer in the house. I'm lost without it, and I didn't get off till 3 o'clock this morning, so couldn't buy beer because alcohol sales were shut down. So, second thing on the agenda today is I'm recording with Pro Tune on in flat mode, and I'm going to try and screw around with color correction, which unfortunately, with it being all cloudy and shit today, it's kind of going to be interesting to do. So we'll see how this turns out. I apologize if the color sucks. And while I'm doing that, switch over to that front camera. Got me a little toy. Yeah, this happened. That on my helmet now is a GoPro Hero 7 Black, which I just got today. I had absolutely no intention of getting it. In the time I've been motovlogging, I've never once had the newest technology camera because I just simply can't afford it. But with the pricing for starters on the new GoPro Hero 7, they are starting it at $399, which is cheaper than any other new release camera has ever been, so kudos to them for that one. And second of all, it's right after they announced it, I got an email from GoPro that said if I trade in any digital camera, regardless of its condition, how old it was, as long as it was at least $100 purchase price at the time that it was bought, I could trade it in and get $100 more off the new GoPro Hero 7 Black. So I scrounged up the money and figured this was an offer I could not pass up. And this thing's got that cool new Hyper Smooth on it for stabilization, which I've never had stabilization on any camera before. So this is in no way, no means, no how going to be like a review on the GoPro Hero 7. Just because I'm screwing around with the color and I'll be screwing around with color correction, and I don't want people to think that if I blow it, that the GoPro 7 color is horrible, because it's all going to be me doing this. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see her or not on my rear-facing camera, but my baby girl is on the bike with me. Yeah, that's right. I'm bringing my 16-year-old daughter on a beer run. Told her I was going. She loves to be on the bike and hasn't been on in a while, so she asked if she could go. And, of course, my baby girl gets what she wants. The other thing you may notice, while I look down, my new flush mounts, fuel gauge, and gas cap. Those are compliments of a friend that was selling his bike and was getting a touring bike, which those don't go on. So, before getting rid of his bike, he popped those off and let me have them, and honestly, they look brand spanking new. I don't know how long ago he put them on, but they're mine now. While I'm at it, I had to get the new GoPro, which side is it on? I think it's on this side, the GoPro Brick for a microphone adapter, which I don't like, and I'm kicking around the idea of maybe going ahead and just getting a digital recorder, and then I won't have to depend on any sound at all coming from the GoPro cameras. Because as usual, I've got my mic plugged into my chin mount, and I've also got up front here, I have the Dyna audio pack, just in case for backup audio, just in case I, for some reason, don't get any audio off of the other camera. But I'm seriously throwing around the idea of just getting a digital recorder and going totally separate on everything. Hit up Dan the fireman, because I know that's what he uses, and he made a couple suggestions for me that I'll be looking at. By the way, if anybody's been watching Dan's videos, big thumbs up to Nikki. Nikki, you're doing great. Keep up the good work. You're gonna be hooked on riding pretty soon. I can see you gaining a lot of confidence. And I guess while I'm talking about it, I might as well bring up Kelly Smoke also. Her and Sean bought that Sportster 48 for Kelly, and she's been out riding. She's also looking pretty confident these days. So we're at our first stop, and we'll be back. Alright, we're back at it, and I have the all-important beer to bring home. Especially since I'm grilling some chicken tonight, and gotta have beer with the grill. It's like a requirement. So those of you guys that watch that are vloggers also, please, if you have any suggestions about audio, please let me know. I've been struggling with it ever since I bought the new helmet, and my favorite mic doesn't fit in the chin bar. Alright, so just curious, am I the only one that takes my kids out on the bike? You know, I've had some people say, oh, I can't believe you let your kid on the bike, it's so dangerous. And my kids love riding. They've been around bikes for a good portion of their lives. You know, I've talked about it before. My daughters probably end up, well, actually, both my kids will probably end up riding at some point. They started when they were very young, getting on the bike with my dad, and when I got my bike, they just still kept wanting to ride. They absolutely love it. My daughter, she knows exactly what to do. She knows how to be a passenger on a bike. I don't even notice her back there, which is kind of scary, because I could probably, we could probably stop somewhere and I could ride off without her and not even realize it, because it's just so, she knows exactly how to be a passenger. But I can't really take my son anymore, unfortunately, because he's coming up, he's 13 years old, he's coming up on 6 feet tall, and probably getting close to 200 pounds, and on my little Dyna, that's a little bit too much to be having on the back seat. Last time I took him, he was uncomfortable within like a half an hour. I was uncomfortable because I couldn't lean all the way back. Love to use that as an excuse to get a new bike. That's just not in the cards. I have a feeling that my coloration on this video is not going to be very good, because really all I've got here is Santa Clarita Desert Brown dry brush ready to burn, and then the fact that I've got cloud cover, which is kind of messing up my natural light. But we'll see. I'll probably post this either way, just because I want to get this out there and let everybody see the Hero 7 Black. Again, if you weren't paying attention earlier, I'm messing around with the color, so don't think that it's the Hero 7 Black that's horrible filming color. If I blow this, I got both of my cameras set on Pro Tune and flat, so I'm going to be really messing around with everything. I'll probably be up all night editing. Actually, you know what? This Hero 7 Black has that time warp feature on it. So I think when we're going to go up to the top of the hill, I'll say my goodbyes and stop vlogging, and then I'll ride back down the hill with time warp on, and go ahead and make the time warp the end of my video if anybody wants to stick around and watch it. You'll see if I remember to. Maybe I'll put a little timestamp in as to where, if you want to see the time warp, you can just fast forward. If you don't want to listen to the rest of this, you can just fast forward and check out the time warp. From what I could see on YouTube videos, it's pretty darn cool. It's almost like a professional time lapse. It's like if my daughter ever lets me go home, because she's already trying to make plans. It's only 4 o'clock. We got plenty of time. I'm gonna make another one of my long videos, I think, because I'm just going off on different tangents, talking about whatever I want. I guess if I could ride more often and post a couple of videos a week, it would be a little different, and I could actually stick to a topic and then leave the video at the end of that topic. But with the work hours and stuff, I don't get much chance to ride, I don't get much chance to film, so I'm just gonna keep babbling about everything that comes to mind, and y'all gotta listen to it. If you stay and watch the whole thing, great. I really appreciate that. I totally understand if my viewers watch just a few minutes and then get bored and turn it off. Scenery's getting a little better for this ride though, back here. You know, it's still just brown brush, but at least we got some nice dark green oak trees to look at. I got to do a couple cool things at work recently that, being in the field, I never got to do. Which, I mean, none of it's a big deal, but it's just the fact that these are things I don't get to do in the field. So one of the things I got to do was remove surgical staples, which was really, I mean, not that big of a deal. It was kind of cool to do it, because working in the field, that's something I never got to mess with. You know, in the field, it's all about stop the bleeding, stabilize fractures, get them to the hospital as quick as possible, and, you know, my splints only had to be good for, you know, the trip to the hospital until the doctor could take pictures and get a look at it, and then they put something better on. Now my second job, it's my job to put more permanent stuff on. Well, let's not say permanent, but we'll say more long-term stuff. And like staples, I never got to mess with. Nobody in the field would touch those. And I also had a close range taser dart stuck in somebody's hand. That was pretty damn cool. And the PA that I was working with, she actually was listening to my suggestions, which was very cool. I appreciate that. And together we were able to figure out a way to get this thing out of this guy's hand. I know usually you can just pluck him out, but this was like really an accidental close range, like within an inch, so it pierced all the way through his hand. The barb was almost sticking out the other side. It was pretty awesome. Dude took it like a champ too. He was a tough guy. Alright, so we're coming up near the peak of this windy road. So I'm gonna say my vlog goodbyes. And like I said, we're gonna time warp on the way down and see how that works. The skies are starting to look kind of ugly.